minutes late.
Let's go.
Hey, yeah, late. What? We didn't have a show. I forgot to hit go. So yeah, my bad. No, I'm just kidding. I had
Hold on,
Windows
there's
update.
a pickle on my wall.
Yes, there's a pickle.
No, grab it.
So
Eat it.
So yeah, like literally like 5 minutes before the show is supposed to go on, I get a Windows update that forced the update. And so yeah, there we are. I had to update, and then once my computer restarts, yeah, it's a bit of a hassle.
Crap,
but yeah,
you know what that is, Crap?
What?
That's Win 10 fam right there.
It is Win. I'm Win 10 fam all day,
baby.
Throw it up, yeah. Win 10. That's me. That's as gangster as I get. But I do got some people here, and maybe some more joining us in a bit. First of all, Mooch, how you doing, man? What's going on, you Stadia backer?
I know, buddy. You got to get into the cloud. Everybody's talking cloud. I got cloud fever.
Cloud
fever. Cloud fever. So I'm gonna do Stadia, X Cloud, Mooch Cloud. Pred Cloud.
Don't do Crap Cloud because you're not going to get much out of that.
Crap Cloud didn't have a sales pitch that I kind of dug, but nonetheless, Crap, I still invest in you, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's funny because we're definitely going to talk about this stuff a little bit later. So maybe we'll just finish some introductions. But it's interesting to see how everybody's kind of talking about this stuff. I saw some people trying it out. Even people like Greg Miller kind of pimping this Stadia stuff. So. We'll see how it goes, man. Always interested to see how it goes. If you guys are just joining us, please like and share it out. I'd appreciate it. Again, sorry that I'm late. Knox should be here later. He didn't say he wasn't coming. I know Shady had something come up.
There's some hardcore Knox followers out there now.
Oh yeah, they love some Knox, man. I can't say I blame them.
We've got Sorry.
Yeah, the yuccas. Yeah, we also got I was instructed to introduce Predator next. What's going on, Pred? How's it going?
Oh, it's me next? I'm not laughing.
Yeah, no, man. We reversed some things around here, man. What's going on?
There's only 4 people here today.
I know.
Not much, man. I know we got a lot of topics and we're a little late, so
oh yeah,
keep it short so we get it going.
All right, and then last but not least, so far we've got Xbot 438. What's going on, man? How's it going?
Dude, why the hell am I last? What's going on here?
Nobody else is here, man. That's just how it goes. We vapors.
That's all right. When Knox comes in, technically he'll be last. So that's
exactly. So I sent him a link.
Guys, I am pumped. Battletoads is back, baby. Let's go.
Battletoads, huh?
Oh yeah,
man, Battletoads, huh?
Pipping out the Saturday morning cartoons.
He is, man. So
well, I have been deemed that I love all types of games, which I
yes,
really
you do. That is true,
really
Xbox.
Yeah, and, hey, and there's nothing wrong with that, right?
Don't knock it till you try it, Crap.
Don't knock it till you try it. Like, listen, I am all for people liking what they want to like the big games, the small games, whatever. For me personally, when I talk about stuff, it's really just my own voice about my own opinions on stuff. It's been a little bit frustrating. Like this E3, overall, I enjoyed E3 for what it was, like the whole entire thing. That's Nintendo, that's Square, that's Ubisoft. I enjoyed the whole thing. Just if you're asking me about Microsoft's in particular, I was a little bit let down by the lack of opportunity that they didn't take. Right, they didn't take the opportunity, in my opinion, to do what they needed to do to get people, particularly me, excited about their next piece of hardware. I was hoping for some kind of way to really grab me with some software and be like, wow, this is going to be amazing on the next Xbox. And I didn't see any of that, I wish they did, but they just didn't. It was like, even the stuff that they did show, like Halo, I wanted to like that so bad, and I'm sure Halo was going to be
that was the opening cinematic.
I know,
to the Halo game. So
yeah,
I mean, you were getting a little insight to kind of like what the graphics are going to be like when it comes to that game. So that's got to get you somewhat excited, man. Come on.
Well, here's the thing. The graphics didn't so much impress me. Like, what happened is last year they showed off that new trailer, right? And that was very impressive. This year, that was open world, looked very open world. But for me personally, I think that what they showed off last year was more appealing, where we thought we were going to get like animals, and now you're back in this.
But dude, last year was only a game engine demonstration, where at the end they had, of course, they had the Warthog and everything like that, but that was an engine demonstration. It wasn't even a trailer for the game, really.
Yeah, but do you see, like, I don't know, what's this spiritual reboot stuff about, Bot? Like, maybe a little bit more, because it seems like they're almost taking it back a little bit too far.
That's what concerns me right there. Now, like, I thought the graphics looked really good, but then when you look at Master Chief's his armor set, right? It looks like it's going back more towards like Halo 2. And my biggest thing, and if they keep this stuff in, I'll be happy. The Spartan abilities and stuff like that. When they say spiritual reboot, I hope they don't take those things that make the game quicker, made the multiplayer made you have to really think a lot quicker and strategize a lot faster. Taking out other Spartans, they gotta keep the Spartan abilities in and customizing my Spartan character for PvP. So I'm a little concerned right now, but like you said, we didn't really see a lot, man. Like there's not too much to go off of right now.
Yeah, like we didn't see any like gameplay per se, just like the opening cinematic. Like I said, I wasn't completely thrilled with what we did see. I didn't hate it. It just feels like they picked kind of the worst part to show off. Remember when they showed off Halo 4 and it was in that forest and we hadn't really seen that before? Like that to me got me very, very excited. This so far, I'm not super excited by what I'm sure it's going to be great. But Mooch, like, what did you think about the Halo stuff in particular? Like, did you think it needed to be something else needed to be shown off a little bit? Like, what is your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, and we touched on it, and since we did discuss it in length after E3, I mean, a little bit more time to sit on it, digest, kind of go over notes. And, I think one of the things that you'd said, Crap, is what resonated with me the most over the past few days is just that there was this big, massive open world. And I understand Xbot's point where he said they basically were just showing you the engine's capabilities, but that's not necessarily all that they were doing. They were showing the wildlife. They showed the animals out there. They showed this living ecosystem. And then they showed the Halo, and they showed Master Chief, and they showed Spartans, and they showed all of that, right? So then now all of a sudden you fast forward to this year, and again, the whole thing that they were preaching last year was open world, this new venture to take on with friends, etc. This vast area we've never explored. And now you're in a ship again where you just see, Master Chief kind of come out of that cryostasis, or I don't know the technical jargon in the sci-fi world. But he comes out of that, he said, we're gonna go fight the good fight, or whatever it was. I'm paraphrasing, and he jumps out. We fight, right? And my point being is that great. I thought it looked good. I just thought that we took a step back. When you're 12 months after you just showed this glorious new world, and with the engine, show off your engine. Yeah. Right? Show something. And I mean, a little bit more happened than just digesting the Xbox conference. Like the Nintendo I think it's the Nintendo, what is it? Connect?
Direct.
Right? Direct. And that came out. And when Nintendo's Direct came out, you saw what they did with Breath of the Wild, right? And you tweeted this out earlier.
Yeah.
They just put a quick snippet. They put the title and in development. And literally, there's still people in the Nintendo New York store. They're dragging them out right now. They're still clapping. They're closed. They're like, please leave the store. Please. Yeah. I'm asking you, please leave the store. Stop clapping. It's been 3 days. Stop it. And
it wasn't even just that. Even the banjo stuff that they did.
I'm just trying to go major IP for major IP. And I mean, Fred's right. I'm just saying that what we need to see at this point, after 5 years of not seeing a lot, is I was just hoping to see a little bit more. Have Bonnie Ross come out on stage. Explain what this new engine's capable of. Tell us what this vast world is. Explain how we'll be able to play with friends. Even if they can't, you might go, well, Mooch, you're not being fair. They can't show it yet. Fine. Listen to what I'm saying. Okay? There's different ways to sell things. There's a various different ways to do it. And I just say this all the time. I'll say it one more time because I think a lot of people are now coming around to it. I question. Now, there's certain things that we're going to talk about tonight that I thought Xbox did outstanding, and we're going to get to it. Yeah. But I think I've for the past 2-3 years, I've been questioning Xbox's leadership. Now, does that mean that Aaron Greenberg and Phil and Mike and the faces of the franchise that we all know, are they the ones that have to go out there and do all the marketing? Absolutely not. Well, hold on. But you can go and hire people to do the job, and they're not even doing that.
Dude, technically, Aaron Greenberg, his title at Microsoft is head of Xbox marketing. So it all falls on him.
What? No, listen, I'm not. Listen, it's not on me. I'm not putting that on Aaron because I'm not, because at this point, it's on the executive staff, if you will, to put the right. If they can't do it, you go and outsource. And that's the problem. They're not even outsourcing. Like, you have to have somebody come in and be able to sell You are not consoles. Sell your brand.
Dude, I said that was their biggest problem. Is they're first off, Phil, he doesn't want to show anything, after like a year and a half out, right? Which I feel is a bad idea. I think Mooch has been on my side with that.
We've seen Halo twice now, right?
I think crap, right? But like he doesn't want to show anything like that, so you don't get those nice teases like the Fable. Like, get that teaser for Fable, like you saw with Zelda, would have been great. A lot of people would have been talking about that. Mooch, what you talked about with Bonnie Ross right there, if she came out and explained some things about the game, explained where it was going into a different direction, and then at the end say, and by the way, here's the opening cinematic to the game, that would have been accepted so much more.
I don't even need the opening cinematic because that's not being fair because we don't know the situation they're in. But yes, I agree with you, X-Spot. But I'm just saying that may be me and you as fans coming and being a bit aggressive. I'm trying to be on the Xbox executive side here and say, I understand that you may not be ready to do what we want, so that's not fair. But this is what you could do even if you had no footage. Like, just show in depth a little bit more of the open world. They have to have the open world design by now, just a small snippet, and then have Bonnie Ross come out and talk to it. It's like any presentation. When Phil had to present his pitch to Satya and he sat down, okay, he had to have some sort of presentation, some sort of slides. He didn't have Halo Infinite running for Satya. He had pictures and this and an envision, and then he had xCloud, and I'm going to do this. And it's a pitch. You have it behind you on a PowerPoint. In this case, it would be a presentation for E3, a cinematic of some sort, and then you speak to it. What cinematic that is, that's up to Bonnie and her team. But what I'm saying to you is that we didn't see any of it. And then I know a lot of people are okay with it, and that's fine. Listen, there's no doubt that Gears 5 is going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait. I'll be there day one. Can't wait. Jumping into the story first and then doing the multiplayer probably for about 150 to 200 hours later. My point is this. Why? If you say, listen, Mooch, stop it. We know Phil's policy. It's 16 to 18 months or 12 months. This is 3 months. It's 3 months away. Where's the campaign? Don't give me this secrets. But that's not the industry. That's not the way this is. You show to get the audience hyped. And not just E3. I'm talking about commercials. I'm talking about everything. We saw Days Gone at Christmas time. January, there was a massive campaign. The game Days Gone doesn't hold a candle to Gears 5.
Yeah.
They don't know how to build hype up over time. They think like blasting it out a week before the game's coming out and then maintaining that over the next 2 weeks is going to get people to buy the game. Whereas Sony, like you said, with Days Gone, they'll pump that shit out for weeks and weeks and weeks before the game comes out. So you'll ask the question, oh shit, this game comes out when? Oh fuck, let me go pre-order this shit now. Like some of the Xbox releases are like I don't even know when they're coming sometimes. They're like last minute. I don't say last minute, but like their marketing is last minute for the games they know that are releasing, within the next couple of months. And
and you wonder, let me ask you this, Pred. And I mean, it's something that I dismissed when Crap said it a while back. I dismissed it. But I wonder if they're just clamoring to get a lot of decent is the main word in this sense. It's it's bolded, underlined, italicized, is decent talent in there to just fill up. Because listen, if you saw the positive articles that came out in the past 4 days about Xbox, and there's positive articles out there about the E3,
there's
right?
a ton of them.
Well,
yeah.
but the positive articles are talking about Game Pass.
Well, E3 was
Game Pass.
E3 was a big Game Pass.
But so that's my point. I'm just saying, are they just trying to fill that cavity? Crap, is that what the goal is here? The goal is to just throw as much shit at the wall and see what sticks. And don't get me wrong, I don't mean that in any kind of wrong way, but that sometimes is that maybe is the business model.
But you got to put games in Game Pass.
Yeah. Well, they are. They are. They may not be the games you want, Brad, but they're putting games in there, all right.
Yeah, like did you notice? Like
Game Pass is not empty.
Here's the thing, right? I did I know some people probably like I did a one-on-one with Next Gen 720, right? It was the first time I've talked to that guy in like 6 months. And we were just talking about Microsoft's E3, right? And it was very interesting to hear his take on it as well. And mine, for me personally, and from what I understand, from what I've read from all the Phil Spencer interviews, and Mooch, I've said this multiple times, the biggest part of it as a YouTube content creator isn't so much E3 itself, it's the interviews after E3. That's where you hear a bunch of the new stuff.
That's where the news really comes out.
From what I understand from Phil is he's more than content. Like he looks at getting something like Outer Worlds in Game Pass day and date as almost like an exclusive thing to him, right? Like that's what he cares about. How much stuff can he get day and date in Game Pass? And he looks at that as a big advantage. And it is, I guess, like you look at the stuff that they put in there, right? It's going to be Outer Worlds. Like that's a first party studio to him. They're making a multi-plat, but it's still going to be in Game Pass day and date. So to him, that's like a huge deal for Xbox. Like to a lot of people, that's not.
Well, crap. Even with Mooch, that was supposed to be a huge deal. Like when you get those bigger multi-plat titles day and date. Now I know Mooch, it's not exactly what you were.
It's not exactly
for.
What I was saying, but yes, you are right. It is in line with that model.
He found a way to do it, brother. He found a way to do it.
You know, Xbot makes a decent point, crap, because I said games, if you remember back in the day, I said games like Evil Within 2 is an ideal game. You know, it's an ideal game.
Metro should have been in there day one, right?
Day and date, right, absolutely. Yeah. I meant to do that more with third party. What Xbot's saying is they're going out and buying some of these smaller third party companies and then just putting them in day and date. And yes, they are multi-plat. But yes, I like your point, crap. Phil is probably looking at that as an exclusive because let's be honest, as Knox said in the post show we did on Sunday, you know, for not me, not you, okay? I went and did the ultimate deal. I got Game Pass Ultimate now till June 2022.
Yeah.
But
I did the same thing. So for those that aren't unaware, like my Xbox Live is good through to the end of next year. So I upgraded too.
All right.
But my point is, though, you have customers like Knox, and if he was here, he would speak to it more. But he said it on the post show. You guys can go watch it. He said for someone like him that's not going to invest heavily in the Game Pass, he'll get to play Outer Worlds for maybe a deal will be there for, you know, $10 for 3 months or $1 for 3 months or whatever. Or he goes, if it's a diehard game I've got to play, I'll fork over the $10. I'll get it for the month, and when I'm done, I'm done. So here's the thing. So for a lot of people, they still can access that game. He's filling that void, and people are starting to just, instead of paying $60 and getting 2 million copies sold, they're going to get anywhere from $1 to $10 for that game, okay? And they're going to get, hypothetically, 6 million people playing it. I don't know. I mean, I don't know the number. I don't know the metric, but that's the philosophy. We all know the subscription base is better than...
It's not, I don't think it's a continued philosophy. Now, like when people were talking about how, you know, Xbox needed first-party studios. They need to invest more. They need more studios out there. So they went and they're like, well, you know, how are we going to do this? So, you know, Ninja Theory had a game that they were working on for a few years, was passed on a couple times, stuff like that. So they approached them like, hey, you know, would you like to join first party or whatever? We'll also put out the game that you were working on for so long. Make sure that gets out there like you wanted. Of course, it's going to go day and date in Game Pass, which, you know, they do hold in high regard, and in a lot of ways, rightfully so. I mean, you're going to hear Game Pass, like, especially going towards the launch of the new console, right? But that was a good way.
It's a big advantage. Like, listen, Xbox.
It's a good way for them to do it, man.
Here's the thing: if they can launch the next Xbox with 4 exclusive games, 4 big AAA games, great. But so far, like for them to do that, that's a year and a half out, and they've only announced Halo. Obviously, Forza Motorsport will be there too. But what else are they going to have? I think that's the thing. Like people are looking, and I know it's like for you, the narrative is not great, but it seems like to me still, and they haven't shaken this from me yet. The only games that they care about that are AAA or that they pump money into are Halo, Gears, and Forza. Now I know they have these other studios, Double Fine, a AA studio. You know what I mean? Like it just is. That's what was the last thing?
Double Fine is a fun studio. Like Psychonauts 2 looks great.
It looks great, but here let me ask you this question real quick, everybody in the panel. So Psychonauts 2, hey, everybody that's watching, please like and share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. I really do appreciate it. Psychonauts 2, right? They got that. They paid almost $13 million to buy the publishing rights away from the publisher that was going to publish that game.
Okay.
Right? So you think, oh, they're going to use it as an exclusive. Nope. Microsoft's still going to publish it on PlayStation.
Doing the same thing that they did with Outer Worlds. It's going to be day and date in Game Pass. Again, that is a high priority for them. And then after that game is out, I'm pretty sure a lot of times when it comes to these dev teams, they're finishing up one game, but they have another game that they're already going through, kind of like preliminary, drawing it out, plotting it out, all that good stuff. It's pretty much the way dev teams work.
I think a lot of things we've got to take a step back and look at the question. Crap, you asked the question on Sunday. You probably don't remember, but it was a great question. You said, "Why is it that what or how is Xbox selling me on their next console?" Now, I will say this much. So this is an in-depth answer. It gets into the Power Crown discussion. I'll just break it up in the sections. The Power Crown is just relevant because if you don't have, if for some reason the PS5 has the Power Crown next gen, you knock the third-party games out. Now most people who are on the fence, they don't know which way to go. They're going to go with the more powerful console just for the sheer fact, if they're console gamers first, for the power. The other thing is that, and we heard a lot of people saying this over the generation, well, I'll just play them on my PC. But crap, here's the thing. That sentence, which we thought was kind of faulty, is starting to hold a hell of a lot of weight for people that are starting to realize that this is becoming expensive. So if you
AMD with their new stuff, they're
I'm not getting into the AMD Intel world. I'm just saying console PC. That holds a lot of water right now, Xbox, okay? So if you have a capable PC, and I'll speak to Pred, I know Pred does, I do, and now I have 2 Xbox One X's in my house. What if Sony has if the PS5 has the Power Crown, I would take my 2 Xbox One X's. I don't know if they let you stack them at GameStop. That's yet to be determined. But I would take my 2, and if that gives $200 a piece, and it's a $500 or $600 Anaconda, I go and I will trade them both in. I would get 1 because I have a PC. Now you're also talking about xCloud. Microsoft is saying play the games everywhere. So you know what I'm going to do? What they tell me. I'm going to play it everywhere. So I'm going to try xCloud. I'm going to have 1 Anaconda. I don't need 2. I certainly don't need 2 anymore. Yeah. Because I can play it on my TV, my phone, like as Crap would say, your refrigerator. So if you can play it everywhere, I don't need 2 anymore. So what I'm saying to you is, and I've said this 100 times, I'll say it again. It's detrimental for Microsoft to win the Power Crown, not for the console war, but to keep the console business thriving. Because once you lose that Power Crown, even Xbox fans, they may not say it on Twitter, they may not say it in the chat, but they're going to say, wait, I have 2 or 3 Xbox Ones. I'll buy 1, but I'm definitely going to go buy a PS5, play my third party over there, and then I'll manage my way through either Xbox Anaconda, a.k.a. Scarlet, or I'll play it on my TV, PC, or phone. So my point here to keep things relevant and on track here is that I think it's a imperative move for Microsoft moving forward to have the most powerful console. And Crap, I know that you've seen it. It's not just the one guy anymore. There's a series of leaks that are saying that they're going to be very close. Yeah, but there's a few that are saying that Sony might win by a nose.
Yeah, right. So like Andrew Rhino said, I think they're going to be both super close. Double M, it brings up a good point. He says, I think the panel needs to deal with the fact that Xbox does not want exclusives. Game Pass for Xbox folks and get full price for PlayStation audience releasing there. Well, here's the thing though. Why bother? Because it's quite clear that Microsoft wants their games on PlayStation's okay. A perfect example of this, which is I have this in the topics as well. So like we're gonna kind of jump a little bit over here, but basically Matt Booty in the interview, he was being interviewed by Eurogamer.
Next year, 2020, brother.
Well, yeah, that too. But he was they asked him about competing platforms and putting games there, right? And he goes, really, it's all up to the gamers and what they want. And so Eurogamer goes, so if enough gamers on PlayStation want Halo, it'll go there. And he laughed and he goes, that's really up to Sony. I mean, that says it all to me right there. Like so many people are like, and maybe Sony won't ever want that, right? But to me, like at this point, I almost wish that Microsoft would just publish the stuff and still do their console. I love the ecosystem of Xbox, but it's like they're so wishy-washy with what they're doing. It's like, they don't have the
Dude, they don't look into that more. The only way any of those games would go on PlayStation like that is through xCloud and streaming. And I think that's what the laugh was for before time.
I think that they've went and they probably have talked to play. I have a feeling they've talked to Sony. Well, yeah, about that, but I have a feeling that they maybe have talked to them about some other stuff as well. And who knows? Like Sony was staunchly against EA Access, and now they allow it. Think about if they did allow Xbox games to be published on PlayStation. Yeah, you wouldn't need it, so they would basically win. But in Microsoft's thought process, Phil Spencer said it. We don't need to sell you an Xbox, right? He said it. We don't need to sell you an Xbox. It's all about what people are going to be able to get. The services and stuff like that. That's where we make our money.
That's never been more apparent than today.
Yeah.
I mean, we knew it. We've heard about it. We saw it coming down the pipe. But realistically, Microsoft, for once, really did unveil their future plans. And their future plans, as you could see, as Crap said earlier in the show tonight, you get more news after the big show than during the big show, which is true.
Yeah.
And the big news of this week, let's just cut it out. It's xCloud. So xCloud is their big to-do this week. It's not the Scarlet.
And here's something that like a lot of people don't think about. What are the most played games on the competing consoles?
What's that?
What are the most played games on the competing consoles?
Third party. Yeah, third party multiplayer.
Minecraft. And I think I saw this the other day. So I think Minecraft on Switch, Cuphead on Switch are up there in the top 5 maybe. And I think Minecraft on PlayStation are like up there, like recently. So like they're perfectly okay with putting their games on the competing console. It's like,
dude, I don't think so, man. Like, those like first off, with Cuphead, I believe was it published by Microsoft?
Microsoft published it. Yeah.
Wait, Xbox, right. Hold on. Let's just make it clear here. It's almost in black and white here. It's almost in print. Like I said, Matt Booty made a comment. Regardless if it's whatever it is, Microsoft would have no issue with having Halo. I'm using Halo as a joke here, but I mean, it's the biggest franchise, so it's the best. It's the best talking point. They'd have no problem with Halo on PS4. I'm telling you right now, as of now, the foreseeable future, not the unforeseeable future, but for the foreseeable future, PlayStation would not allow Microsoft's first party. I understand they have Minecraft. I get it. That's a phenom, right? That's a big.
But it was already on the platform when they
Sony. Jim Ryan's also had big, right? Exactly, Xbox. Jim Ryan's had numerous interviews also in the past few weeks, and they plan to compete, and they still are. They're still competing companies. So it's not quite this harmonious, like everybody's holding hands and skipping down the road. That's something the media's painting for you. That's something Jeff Keighley's painting for you. I got them all here. It took me my whole life. I don't have to be here anymore. I did it. I finally did my achievement. I got everybody on stage at the same time. Stop it. Just stop it. Okay? That's a bunch of just showmanship. That's nothing. As far as business, the business is still the way we always knew it. Now, Microsoft is different. They've definitely put their foot forward and said, we will put our games anywhere, anytime. That's their business model. Sony doesn't have that business model. So I'm not, will that not happen in 5 to 10 years? I can't speak to that. But I can tell you from now till the next 5 years, I don't believe you'll see Forza, Halo, or Gears on PlayStation 5.
I think you guys are looking way too far.
Let me pay some bills, my man, Sir X-Man. He says, I am so on Crap side this week about Microsoft. Listen, right?
That's the first, brother.
Here's the thing, though, too. Like, I like something like that. That Elite Controller 2 was a fantastic announcement.
We have 2 pre-orders in the house.
Yeah, like that thing's amazing, right? Like, I'm absolutely
$80 in my pocket. I'm good.
I know, right? Like, hey, I'm having a hard time talking the future missus into that too. She's like, "You have 2," and I'm like, "But this one has tension grip." I said, "This one has tension grips," and she's like, just looked at me, and I was like, we'll come back to this one." You know what I mean? Like, tension grips. Come on, guys. Like, like I'll
higher
win that
taxes.
Higher taxes. What? Well, then we got to have the crazy people out there.
I can't have that.
They got to have a place for
That's
the crazy
so great
people.
when you said that.
I know, right? Like, what?
Grips. She's like, what?
What?
So guys,
exactly.
Before we get too far from it, I just want to say I feel like when it comes to games like Minecraft, even the new first party, deals with like, Outer Worlds going multi-plat and stuff like that. I feel like you guys are looking way too far into it, and then bringing up a game like Halo and saying, well, they wouldn't mind putting that on the
well, listen, I'm only going by what Matt Booty has said. Like, he, like, and Phil has said
you also
like
got to read body language and the way that things are said as well, man. You can't just take the word as the word.
We cannot watch E3 with tarot cards. Okay, this is not what that is. I mean, really, you gotta take the guy for what it's. You know what I mean?
Dude. They all right. They took out 2 birds with 1 stone when it came to studios and bringing them in first party. All right, they're filling up Game Pass with even more games that are actually multi-plat. They were listening to Mooch and they found a way to do that. Not only that, they have dev teams that are working and will be working on more exclusives for the Xbox platform. All right, which is xCloud, which is on PC, which is the console as well. So they killed two birds with one stone there. Now, when it comes to this E3, I said this E3 was mediocre at best. Anytime they had a chance, they grabbed somebody's attention and it was ready to go, they dropped the ball somehow. All right, I think the biggest thing was Gears. Not showing gameplay on that stage was absolutely ridiculous. I have no idea why they would do that, knowing the game is coming out in September. But other than that, like I stated before this E3, I'm going to E3 2020. And I know K Mega asked me why. There were a couple other people like, why would you do that? I was like, well, because when it comes down to it, that's the E3 right before hardware launches. And Matt Booty is backing what I said in the interview, saying, yeah, those big bangers are going to be there on stage in 2020.
But it's a little bit ridiculous that he's that the meme is wait till next E3, wait till next E3.
I think people also use that because now that this E3 is done, and yes, it was mediocre at best, they know before the launch of hardware, that E3 is usually absolutely phenomenal.
I get that, but you could I wasn't asking for too much. Like, I wanted them to show one more thing. You know what I mean? Like one
powerhouse game.
Yeah,
I'm not saying that they didn't. My biggest, what I feel is the biggest downfall when it comes to Xbox, when it comes to these shows, and I said it time and time again. I think I'm just going to record it on a tape recorder and just play it whenever I feel I have to. It's the fact that Phil Spencer decides he's only going to show these amount of games. He does not tease the future. He does not show the gamers that there is investment beyond a year or a year and a half. He doesn't do, I think, what would get gamers hyped for that second year and that third year. He won't tease, but yet they're using CGI trailers.
Yeah.
At this E3, it blew my mind. They completely dropped the ball that way. But that's their biggest downfall right there. They don't tease the gamers for the future.
Yeah, see, I get that they're going to wait and maybe want to do some big bangers, but they officially announced the console this year. Why not show a Fable at least? It's like the least. Well, it's like the worst secret in the industry.
I want to talk about what they said about Scarlet as well, because, dude, am I the only one disappointed that they did the exact same thing that they did with Project Scorpio, and they just tried to rehash?
We did. We talked about that.
I told you that was going to happen.
Yeah,
though.
me and oh, hold on. Elron Arrow says Xbox is right on. Microsoft is not. iPhone can't go just on merit. Show gameplay and new IP. Exactly. Sir X-Man says the Elite controller and Doom. That was it at E3. Hey, I love Cyberpunk. The Marvel game, Avengers game looks good, but the graphics aren't up to par where I would like them to be. But I still think that game looks solid. That Jedi Fallen Order game looks amazing. Hey, everybody, hit the like button. Let's get over 100 likes. We're very, very close. Yeah, like they rehashed the E3 thing. Like this E3 was a rehash of the last few, they redid that it's a monster thing. And I thought that was very schmarmy, like cheesy. I was like, ugh, it eats monsters for breakfast. Like, okay, because first
even the guy who said it kind of, you want to talk about body language, Xbot, he's like, it eats monsters for breakfast. It's almost like he almost was like, I don't want to say this. You know what I mean? Like, because he's like, I did this last, 2 years ago.
It was so unnatural when he said, like, the first time.
The first time was like, hey, we're
natural.
Well, you know what it was? They'd gotten beaten up for 2-3 years about not having enough power, man. And they were like, it's a monster. Like, we've created and this time it's kind of like, it eats monsters for breakfast. It's almost like he looked and he was like, is that what the cue card says?
Is that what you can?
Is that what I'm supposed to say?
They tried to tried to get kind of like that same hype using the same exact commercial.
Yeah,
and I'm like, dude,
and this is this goes back to my initial point. It goes back to Xbox leadership. Somebody approved it. And it's like the marketing's not right.
Dude, I don't think anybody in Xbox has a marketing bone in their body.
I
to be
mean,
really honest with you.
and I know Crap is going to get into it. You know, we're going to get into the whole cloud thing because it's an important subject to discuss. It's everything the media has been talking about for the past 48 hours. But you know, you look at it, and I told Crap, I said, I'm going to try. I am in on day one for xCloud. So let me just put that out there. I am in on xCloud day one. But I did. Yesterday I decided to do the Founders edition.
Hold on. Let me answer this real quick. Next doc says Phil announced hardware Halo, Gears, and Forza 2 years out. Exactly. He announces hardware super far out, right? We want to be, what is that? Transparent about hardware. And my biggest gripe is, okay, well, how about be transparent about one piece of software?
You know why? This is, and I can only speculate, but here's the deal. When it comes to the hardware, they are a lot more solidified on when hardware is going to come out. When it comes to software development, any little hiccup can put a development team back 6, 8, 12 months. You see what I'm saying? So, like, I can see where he's coming from, but it doesn't work. All right, you have to grow a pair and tease the consumer out there, tease the gamer that it's coming. If it's going to be delayed, yeah, put it out there. Like, oh man, unfortunately, this happened or this happened, and we got to push the game back. But then
because that hasn't affected the competition.
We heard not at all.
Last year or two,
dude. PlayStation delayed, and grouped up a whole bunch of exclusives, and then just dropped them all. All right, and now guess what? Nobody is looking at that time within the PlayStation 4 when there was a drought. Nobody's looking at that anymore, and they're just like, wow. Look how glorious they are.
So, Microsoft is so gun shy, it's annoying, right? So I get this a lot, right? Oh, you're entitled or this or that, or it takes time. For me personally, if Microsoft doesn't believe in their studios enough to show something, even a teaser CGI, if they don't believe in their studios enough and have faith in their studios, why should we?
I'll be honest with you. I'll ask this question. If you're and it piggybacks your point, Crap. I wonder if Google wasn't aggressive with Stadia. I wonder if xCloud, because they didn't even have, we thought that xCloud was going to have a presence on stage. You can see they're like, and we have xCloud. Next slide. Like, what? Like, I mean, Stadia did a whole thing a month ago. Then they did their version of a Direct or Connect, whatever they wanted to call it. Okay. And they did that whole thing. And Google's coming out and saying, we're going to launch in November. And Microsoft's like, I guess we're going to launch in October. Right? Are we ready? Somebody say something. So it's like, I think that Microsoft, again, is reacting. Now, does that mean they're not? They were ready to do this. I think Google's trying to preemptively make them kind of jump start before they were ready, because Microsoft didn't do. I thought, listen, they said the show was going to be 2 hours. Let's do the math. They did it for about 1 hour and 36 minutes.
Yeah, dude. Okay. What was up with that?
Well, that's what I'm getting to. I think a portion of it was supposed to be xCloud. I don't know if they were prepared to do it. They weren't. They didn't do it. Like, why wouldn't you do 5 to 10 minutes if this is their hard-hitting thing? And shout out to all the great gamers out there taking footage and sending it, because a lot of those gamers that are out there that we all know that are trying things out, they're the ones that kind of convinced me to go to Stadia and convinced me into xCloud. So I want to try this. Listen, by the way, this is my Crap has told everybody in the show. I travel a lot. So I right now use the Switch. Right, but the Switch is not like when I want to play Destiny or that. That's why I said the Crap goes, really? He goes, you went and invested in Stadia. I said I did because I said, just like Sony did, and they wanted to make a presence early in this generation, what they do? They went and locked down who? Bungie. So what does Google do? They know that Destiny still is a name brand. It's a household name. Mm-hmm. Not only do you get the Chromecast, okay, that's a $50 thing off the shelf, I believe, anyways. Then you got a $60 controller. Then you get the DLC. You get everything Destiny's got all the way up through. All the new DLCs included, everything. Okay? Then you got the 3-month subscription with all the games. Then you get 3 extra months you can throw to a family member or a buddy. My aunt, the name thing, but whatever. But I'm just trying to say to you, that's not a bad investment for $129 to jump in. And Microsoft's going to be, you're going to pay for xCloud. I'm going to pay. I'm going to try it out. Whichever one of those two is the best. Listen, I'm leaning towards Microsoft. I would like Microsoft to win because that's where I've got everything, the community, etc. So I'm rooting for Microsoft naturally. But I think I told Crapco, so what's your thought on this? I said, you want to know what I think? I think Google's going to take a page out of the 360, take a page out of what Sony did this generation. I think Google's going to play dirty. I think they're going to do what the Epic Game Store does. I think they're going to get exclusive content on certain games, third-party big ones, big games. I think they're going to have exclusive content, maybe 3 months on their console or their streaming service first. You know, they're going to play dirty because Google doesn't have what Microsoft has, and that's all these first-party games in Game Pass. They don't have that. So how do they combat that? They are. This is not where people go, Mooch, stop it. This is Sony. They don't have Microsoft money. Google does. Google does. So they can go out there and spend whatever they want. So that's why I said I thought it was a reasonable thing to jump in first day. Let's see what they got. Let's see how this whole thing goes. I don't think it's that bad. So what I'm saying to you is they give you hardware to satisfy that $129. And yet Richard Luna says, Mooch, really Destiny? Yes, really Destiny. When I'm on the road, I can pull out the large iPad screen I have and play Destiny with the Google Stadia controller or the Xbox. I can play. It's crazy. Of course I would. Absolutely. You know what I mean?
Can I just say something to the chat, because people are ripping on me about liking Battletoads, and they're like that cartoony garbage and stuff like that. For all the people before the show went live that were talking about Medieval, do me a favor, go in the bathroom and look at yourself in the mirror, and then talk about cartoony garbage. If you are getting hyped up over Medieval, why can't I get hyped up over Battletoads, which still has kind of like, it's the beat 'em up. It's that traditional beat 'em up, but yes, now it looks like a cartoon. It looks like a cartoon you would see on cable, yo.
Nobody should question your enthusiasm for Battletoads. We all grew up with that era, and the game looked like a lot of fun. I think the only difference in any kind of conversation here would be that Medieval was actually shown at a state of play for 3 minutes, and this was on one of the largest stages in electronic history.
I just find it so funny. I find it so funny that people were praising Medieval, which I thought looked good as well.
Well, it was aired on a Tuesday in the middle of May, on
I can say
drive home traffic.
I can say Medieval looked good, and that would spark a really great conversation in chat. Yeah, doesn't it look good? Oh my goodness, it's a cartoon. And then I say
Battletoads.
Here's the thing, though. Battletoads. I mean, what could they have done with it? They actually went with a decent art style, I think. Basically, sort of, it's had a Castle Crasher / Cuphead, you know what I mean? They were going for that. It's a hand-drawn thing. Obviously, look, it's going to be in Game Pass. That's not a big game, like, it's one of those.
But it's something I guarantee you're going to see gameplay next podcast from me whooping that game's. I don't know how bad I'm going to go far there, but I'm going to be tearing that game up. I'm going to be recording gameplay. It's going to be on next podcast, no doubt.
Hey, I'm not knocking Battletoads. I think
absolutely not. Yeah, it's great. I'll be playing it. Listen, I got news for you. Everybody on this panel is going to be an Xbox Game Pass metric that day. Yeah. It is what it is. You know what I mean? Congratulations to all four of us. We're a statistic.
Hey, well, listen, man. Like I said, for me, Game Pass, especially this upgraded deal, at least for now, makes a lot of sense because you could try a lot of their mediocre games for basically next to nothing. You know what I mean? So why wouldn't I? Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't anybody? Right? It's like,
why wouldn't you?
Exactly. Even stuff like Outer Worlds, which I really don't have any interest in, but maybe since I don't have to actually pay for it, just try it out or whatever. Give it a whirl.
And I'm interested in your Crap's opinion, but I want to get Pred involved. Pred. I mean, you heard my Stadia and my xCloud speech. I mean, does it hold water?
Yeah, it does. I mean, I'm getting xCloud. I played, the streaming stuff with Assassin's Creed when it came out, and it worked okay. But my ecosystem is Xbox, and
same here, absolutely.
Yeah, and I'm not sold on it yet on xCloud yet, because most of the games they're gonna have in there I'm gonna have anyway on my other system. So I just don't want to put the money in the effort.
Here was my thought, Pred. Tell me if you think this is right. This is kind of a secondary thought on it. Is I was thinking to myself, all right, Google only has Stadia. Microsoft has the Xbox Ones can be a local server in your house, right? They've got xCloud, they've got Project Scarlet, they've got the Xbox One family, they've got a million studios to watch. They got a lot going on. Google has Stadia. So what I'm hoping is, and I think and Crap, you said this when you saw Greg Miller and a bunch of, not just Greg Miller, I mean the entire gaming media and all the gamers, by the way, all the gamers, like, look at what everybody's tweeting out. If you don't believe me, Mooch, you're full of it. Go to Twitter and find out that I'm not. Everyone is showing you less about the actual gameplay. More people have shown me on Twitter in the past 2 days Halo 5 playing on their phone. Okay, I've seen more.
Dude, I saw Forza Horizon 4. I got sent a video. And
me too. I'm
dude,
telling you, I've seen more xCloud and Stadia stuff than new games. So my point being is that's what the media is looking at and pushing.
Yeah, you're right. And you know, when we were having this conversation earlier today, and we're talking about like why would I need an Xbox? Like, if I can stream all this shit on my PC, I don't need to purchase another Xbox. I have a Scorpio edition right here, and I don't need to upgrade this motherfucker if I already have everything in the cloud that I can get on the xCloud. Like, I can just buy it and play it there. So like, I don't know if Microsoft necessarily fucked themselves in that aspect of it, but like, it's gonna make some of us hardcore people kind of think now about where we want to purchase.
I'm seeing this a lot, right? So this is what I said. Like, Microsoft is going after that 2 billion gamers, quote unquote, and basically a lot of the hardcore I'm seeing go, well, what's the point? I can still get a PlayStation and, you know, and play those PlayStation games and possibly stream the Xbox games across whatever I want, right? And
that's where Xbox is like, guess what? That's exactly right.
That's what they want.
I get that's what they want, but again, like, doesn't that take the pool of like multiplayer people out of the actual console itself? Right? Like, you're going to be segregated into different sections according to them. So realistically, you're taking away people that you could play against natively, and you end up playing against people, you know, on a cloud stream or whatever. You know what I mean? And that's just, you know, not exactly my
let me back up something real quick. Okay, so like, let's say the next Halo comes out, it's on the cloud, right? You have a PC. You have a PC, right? You can still download that game, if I'm not mistaken, because you have a Game Pass, right? So you can still play it natively. You don't have to wait and stream it. Now, if you're on the go, like, you're not going to play competitively and expect to win playing Halo, you know, on the go on a streaming service. It might happen. I don't know what their service is like, but it's possible. But for the most part, like, most of their games, their first party games anyway, shooters and stuff like that, you're going to still be able to download and play on your PC or your console or wherever. But like, it's not going to be streaming. It's going to be actually tied into your system. So that aspect of it to me is what's kind of selling me on going like this the PC xCloud route, because I can play those games still natively through my PC versus having to go buy another $500 fucking console and get pretty much the same effects out of it. I'm not buying an 8K TV. I'm not worried about that shit right now. So most of these games come out next generation, still gonna be 4K 30, 4K 60 anyway. So my Scorpio is still gonna be fine.
Yeah. Key One Hall says, as you guys know, Phil said xCloud will be free. Well, no, hold on.
I asked him, when did he say that?
Yeah. Here's the thing. Like, Phil mucked up their explanation for this again, right? And everybody that's joining, please like and share it out. Maybe we can get to 200 likes by the end of the show. Phil, they announced that they're going to be doing remote play, right?
Yeah.
That's free. Remote play
Which is really cool, by the way.
Yeah, remote play is something that PlayStation has been doing for a long time already. Basically, it turns your console into a server where you can play your own games on a phone or whatever based off your server or whatever. So that's free. When asked about xCloud, he said they haven't talked about the business model yet, because I read that interview. So you'll be able to play the games that you own that way for free, but I think they're going to charge for xCloud. That's the only way that makes sense.
Well, listen, and I got to be honest with you. It would be wonderful if Microsoft said, hey, that's all included in Ultimate Game Pass as well. But they see what Google...
I think they're going to do something like that, brother.
I don't. Not when they see Google's making money on it. That's their version of it, and they're gonna charge you.
Well, see, the way I see it with Ultimate, that would be one subscription for every type of gamer that they are trying to get a hold of.
That'd be great.
Gamer, the console gamer, and that gamer on the go.
I won't complain.
I think they're gonna. I think that's why they put that name Ultimate in there. And if you notice, you got PC.
Well, Game let me Pass, ask you this, Xbot. Let me ask you, but here's my only rebuttal. Okay, if this conversation happened 2 weeks ago, I would have folded my cards and said, Xbot's got a point. Reason I'm holding on and saying I'm kind of going, I can't. They had people on stage saying why it was Ultimate, and that was live, console Game Pass, PC Game Pass. They talked about xCloud on stage. They would have said because Google's already announced by the time Microsoft was up there, Google already announced their payment plan. Microsoft could have, that's the zinger, right? And let's hear me out. And our xCloud is also included. And listen, they're not going to do that after the fact. They had the stage right there.
For some rhyme or reason, you saw the presentation from Xbox. For some rhyme or reason, they're holding so many things close to their chest. Like, we can't explain it either, why they're doing that. So I don't think they necessarily would have said it at that point in time. A little further down the road, they might throw it right in there and be like, you know what? This is Ultimate because now you have the power of xCloud. You have PC.
Did you hear what? But here's the thing. So you have mine, which was a show and tell. Okay, and then you have a Crap just said, and Crap just said in that interview, we haven't announced our xCloud payment plan yet or our business structure yet. Yeah. So that right. I mean, they know what's coming down the pipe. They're not going to change their mind, especially like I said. If their competition was doing it for free, they're not going to do it for free if their competition's not.
It's not for free, man. It would be with the Ultimate package.
Well, I mean, how many things are you going to keep throwing in there? That may very well be, but
that would be an Ultimate package, man. Every single gamer is taken care of. That's Ultimate.
I agree with you with the word Ultimate, but Ultimate would also mean when I'm hungry, they'll send me a sandwich.
I'm just trying to make sense, brother.
Right? I mean, when I play games, I get hungry. Doesn't it include a Subway pass or something?
They include that, man, with their statistics, man. They know. They're like, hey, 100% of mooches were eating Subway while playing this game on Xbox Live.
We're all statistics.
We are. I mean, we're statistically speaking statistics for Microsoft, and that's what they love, man. They love talking about this. I mean, I was surprised. I feverishly looked for these Phil interviews, right? And apparently he's doing one recently with Giant Bomb. But I always look for these types of interviews because they're very enlightening, right? And what's that?
I'm looking at Good Dank's comment.
Oh, well, exactly. And so, you know, like it's always very interesting when they talk about this stuff because they do kind of fudge it a little bit with how they talk about it. Hold on. Danny Andino says, Stadia has a free 1080p option. Would it be fail if xCloud doesn't have a free option? Console streaming doesn't count because you have to buy one. The 1080p option doesn't. It's like
not that it's 1080p. The free option that's rumored to be coming because they haven't announced this yet. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the Stadia one is no games. It's just you're an active member. You have your gamer tag.
You still have to buy games.
And you buy the games, and then you just use Stadia. That's fine. What the $9.99 Pro, and then I don't know if they're going to have a Founders that stays with it. Those are going to be like Game Pass, where there's a vault of games, and not only do you have to buy certain ones, and other ones you'll like Game Pass. Like I sent Crap a list, like the Founders one. Like I believe I don't have Rage 2, but supposedly I'm going to get Rage 2. I'll be able to play that game. So you know what I mean? There's certain games that are going to be in that vault that are maybe, and some of them are going to be duplicate between Xbox and their vault, but they're going to have, so that's their version. So you'll either pay a subscription, also play in their vault, and then have to pay certain games. But Xbox Game Pass is very similar to that in that same retrospect. You can pay for Xbox Game Pass, you'll get that. But if you want the latest, greatest game and you want to use it on xCloud, you got to buy the game.
Yeah. I agree 100%. I feel like that's exactly how they're going to work it. Hey, we got new Nugum in the room. That guy for his E3 help as well. He did a really good job with that as well. So
very talented guy.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. So Mooch, you're all in on Google Stadia, and you are now a founder on that. What is your thought? I mean, going forward, because both Phil and Sony are like, we might not even have next consoles, right? But of course, we heard that this time too, right? Well, like years ago, Sony's like, PS5 might be a cloud console, and now it's not.
Right. Well, I do want to iterate again. I'm also going to be day one, whatever it is. If it's in my Ultimate package, that's fine. If it's not, I'm going to try xCloud as well. I do want to say this. I'm all in on the streaming thing because it seems to be working. It seems to be a lot of fun. It looks like a lot of people are enjoying it. I travel a lot. Pred travels a lot. To be able to say, and this is yet to be seen, folks. This is yet to be seen. But if I'm able to, and I'm using Destiny 2 as an example, folks. So, Crap, you know that. If I can actually be on the road and actually have my laptop or have my iPad and be able to just bring the Google controller or my Xbox controller and play a game with Pred and Nox and Xbox and Crap let's just be honest. That right now I'm taking like, Super Mario Odyssey on the road. Not that there's anything wrong with it, right? Not that there's anything wrong with it, but that I would much rather play Destiny 2 and like Knox was saying, play my dailies, get things done. Some of the things that I know some of my friends at home are doing, or I can play with one friend and he can help me out. Again, this has to work, okay? But so I would say streaming for me is my traveling. It's my traveling companion. At home, it's still console. I shouldn't say never. Less than 10% of the time, crap. We talked about this. If I have one of my big TVs and a dedicated console underneath it, that's where I'm gaming. That is where I'm gaming. But hypothetically speaking, think about some of the possibilities, right? Whether you have Stadia or you're just using the Xbox One as your server, if you're sitting out by your pool, you're having a drink, the kids are playing, you're like, I got to watch kids because they're out by the pool. What do? You can bring out a game. You can play the game. You're right there outside the pool. You're having a drink. You're enjoying yourself. There's a lot of different circumstances that work here for a lot of different people. I'm giving you different ideas, people. So I just want to reiterate. I'm definitely doing xCloud and Stadia. And then I'm going to, after 3-4 months or a year, depends on how long it takes either one, whichever one is the reigning champ, that's the one I would continue as my streaming, in air quotes. That's my streaming console of choice. But my console of choice will remain Xbox. I will still be playing on the Xbox ecosystem, 9 out of 10 times.
I mean, look, you're probably exactly what Microsoft is after, right? Like,
absolutely.
Personally, for me, it doesn't make sense because I'm never anywhere where I can, play a game. Like we've had portable devices to do it, and I own these devices and just never use them because I'm either driving or, some other thing. I've never had that, like, oh, let me break this out and play. So, like, to me, it's not something that I'm super interested in. Plus, I just got a feeling that like the battery lives on these phones and stuff are going to die really fast when streaming. It's like going to be something. I just don't see it as like this huge thing that Microsoft sees it as. I don't want it to fail because I feel like that would be bad for business. But I also don't want it to replace traditional consoles anytime soon. Like that to me is the ultimate thing that I'm trying to avoid as a gamer. You know what I'm saying?
Am I
like
the only one having flashbacks of the HD versus Blu-ray thing that we went through?
Absolutely. No, you're not alone. You're not alone. I'm with absolutely, Pred. That's what I said. It's xCloud. It's Stadia. There's really only room, and then Sony's gonna try and chime in with their PS Now, whatever they're gonna do. We're gonna find out in 12 to 18 months what they're gonna do. I mean, my point being is that Pred is right. Okay, there was the HD and the Blu-ray, and then Blu-ray, of course, won. That's my point. Try them both out. See what's happening in the early on. This is my point, Pred. I said this to Crap, and I think he gets my point. Is that I think Google's gonna play dirty, and I think Google is going to try and get as much exclusive content. They're already kind of doing it. People go, Mook, you don't know what you're talking about. They're already doing it with the Destiny stuff. You buy the Founders Edition, and what do you get? The DLC. Take your DLC on the road. Listen, that DLC is going to cost people $30.
It's not.
No, it's not about exclusive. It's about included. Not exclusive, included. Okay. Right? So for your money, Xbot, hear me out again. You're getting the best Chromecast they got. You're getting the $60 controller. We all just said, Xbot, yourself included, you bought 2 V2s. I don't even want to say out loud how much that cost the family. Okay, so you're right. So you're gonna get So you're gonna get a controller. You get the Chromecast. You get the DLC. You hear what I'm saying? You get 3-month service of their version of Game Pass or whatever they're gonna have, and you take it on the road. I'm not sales pitching it.
$382.
I saw it. You can speak to it, but I'm just trying to. You showed me the tab on that. But my point,
believe it, man.
It's fantastic. Don't get me wrong. I encourage that. That was a great buy.
But dude, I'm gonna have to work overtime now.
I don't think that's if you're intrigued right now by streaming at all, or you travel, or you have a family of 5 and you can't get a TV to yourself.
Yeah.
Okay. This may be for you. I would never in my life, and you can ask Crap, when I told him I was not, and nor will I ever try to sell Crapgamer on.
You know what's funny? My kids, because we tell the kids exactly what's coming down the road. We let them know about xCloud. Of course, they saw the trailer for Minecraft Dungeons, and the twins, the 11-year-old twins, went absolutely insane. They cannot wait for that game to come out. And I was like, down the line, because they have cell phones that we took away from them because we'll just put reasons, but we took them away. But when we give them back to them, they have no problem like streaming games like Minecraft Dungeons, like if there's Goat Simulator in xCloud, stuff like that. They can't wait. They want to be able to use that for their games. So
do they have Switches? Because the Minecraft is going to be on the Switch as well.
We won't. We didn't get them a Switch yet because we're afraid of with the tablet being the console, quote unquote console.
Yeah.
That would be the only time you'll ever hear me say Switch as a console. By the way, people, everybody out there, timestamp that. Timestamp that. But they weren't good with their tablets to begin with.
Yeah.
So we don't want them picking up this handheld and breaking it, and that being the whole thing. So we haven't gotten them a Switch yet.
Yeah, I hear you, dude. Were you guys surprised that Minecraft was a multi-plat? Ended up
not really.
No,
because it's on everything already. Now they should have. They could have been dicks about it and then be like, yeah, but again, going back with the way they're doing business now, like they're okay with putting things on their system.
What would the gamers' mind share have been if Xbox and Microsoft, when they acquired Mojang, they took Minecraft off of PS4, they didn't include it in anything else, knowing that that game started as a PC game, all right, then it went to Xbox, it went to mobile, PS4, just taking it away from PS4 and then cutting everybody else off after that, dude, there would have been more torches and pitchforks in Redmond than in 2013 when they first announced the Xbox One. I swear, it would have been insane, man.
Yeah, listen, I'm not saying, I'm not saying that they had to pull it off anything. I'm just saying this game was initially announced as a PC exclusive, and Xbox fans were like, "What? What are you talking about? Why isn't it coming to Xbox if Xbox is PC and PC?" Yeah,
you're talking about Dungeons.
Yeah, Minecraft Dungeons, not regular Minecraft, right?
Right.
So, and now it's like that game, Minecraft Dungeons, was announced as a PC exclusive, and now it's Xbox, Switch, and PS4. So that kind of caught me by surprise.
I think what they did, just because of where Minecraft started, when they first announced it, they wanted to kind of respect the roots of Minecraft. And you can say whatever you want about that, but that would be, I would look at that as a reason why they kind of said PC first, but then, now it's like going to be absolutely everywhere.
Yeah.
Because that's
too
where
much money to
Minecraft
leave
first
on the
started.
table, man. That's way too much money.
Yeah.
I don't even blame him for that shit. I'm plotting that shit. Yeah, put it everywhere.
Everything Minecraft should be like the way Minecraft is now, just absolutely everywhere.
Do you guys think that long term we're gonna get some? I mean, I guess Bleeding Edge might be console exclusive.
Yo, dude, what is the hate? What is the hate with Bleeding Edge?
Here's the thing. Bleeding Edge is unfortunately going to get the brunt of some hate, and it could be a good game. I don't know, but it's going to get some of the hate for the same reason that, like Sea of Thieves got hate, and some of these, some of these games probably did deserve a little bit of the hate, but it's just another one of those AA games, like that's so Microsoft.
Anybody who does any kind of research into Ninja Theory, the crowning jewel of that development team is how they do melee combat.
I'm sure that they
are second to none, man.
I agree. Listen, I think the game could be fine. It could be fun, but again, at the end of the day, it's another multiplayer only 4v4 brawler, right? Like it could be good. It's just like one of those things, though. Like people are gonna
another online multiplayer
brawler. Yeah.
Brawler.
Yeah.
Just compared to what other 4v4 online multiplayer?
Well, like it's in the vein of some of these other games, right? Like Brawlhalla and Brawl Out and some of the, some of these other brawling games, right? But it looks just kind of a little bit more generic to me, and I get it, right? And I mentioned this earlier today when I was talking to Next Gen. I said, here's the thing: the game might not even look bad. Just to me, it's not what Xbox needed at this particular time to sort of give me any kind of hype for Ninja Theory or the future. And I get it, right? People bring up A teams or B teams with you. Who cares? It's all teams. You can't guarantee that nobody that worked on Hellblade didn't work on this.
Taking all the gaming politics out of it, because guys, we got to do that at some point in time.
Well, all I'm saying is, man, it wouldn't kill Microsoft. Like they have to prove that they want to do something that has some single player elements to it. Everything so far, like I said, they haven't proven to me that they're capable or want to.
You realize Gears has a single player
campaign. It does, but again,
and Halo has a single player campaign.
It does, but look at what they want to do with, like, you know what I mean, with the cards, and you buy your packs and all this kind of stuff. So it's very much
that has nothing to do with the single player.
I get you, but they do but the single player for those last two ones weren't amazing. Right, they were kind of average. So you hope that they can rebound there.
I thought Gears 4,
the DB bots were kind of lame. That's why I think they're taking the DB bots out. Yeah, yeah. Well, look, Saji bots in the chat. What's up? He says he liked it. He says 7 out of 10. I was more of a 5 or 5 out of 10, 6 out of 10.
I gave it a 6 out of 10. 10 minutes after it was over. I mean, I still stick to that. I don't think that's a bad representation.
Pretty much. That's in the mediocre.
And man, it's on par with their exclusives this generation. I said that before.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah. See, I mean, that's a little bit of a problem too. Like, if you look at it, what we've gotten, I feel like they could have shown us a little something. They know it. Like, they can play stupid sometimes, right? Like, oh, well, we didn't know. Like last XO, right? Phil's like, well, I didn't know people wanted to see game announcements, right? Like, come on, you know what I mean? Like, he knows that people want to see game announcements.
Yeah. I guess according to the awesome audience we have here, I'm damage controlling right now.
Well, listen,
I can't be excited as a gamer for games that I look at and like, damn, I want to play that.
No, listen, it's just your personal opinion.
I can't be that way, man. I can't do it.
Yeah, like, listen, it's your personal opinion, and I think you're welcome to it. But for me, like, Bleeding Edge didn't look like too thorough. I guess people that played it thought it was tight or whatever, but I think it's just like those other fighting games where people play them for a week and then you don't really hear much from them anymore. And I get it too, also, right? Like, there's no guarantee that I will say this though. I can almost promise you this: there's no guarantee that anybody out there claiming that nobody from Hellblade works on this game, even though this game's been in development for on and off for 4 or 5 years, is a bull-faced lie. We don't know for sure, right? Sure, there's multiple teams there, but we don't know who interacts with what games on what. And this was a game that they wanted to do, but they knew it wasn't going to be a big success. And you can't bank your entire studio on a possible failure.
It's
right?
like their mixtape, man.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they can't. That's why they shelved it. They haven't worked on this game continuously for 4 years. It's off and on. And then Microsoft was like, "Hey, we'll let you finish it or whatever." And I think that is what we're getting. That's sort of what we're getting, right? Like that's the difference for me. I think that the game can be fun or whatever, but I don't think this isn't the game that most people were looking forward to or that Microsoft actually needed right now. I feel like
I think at the end of the day, and I'm not saying you guys on the panel or anything like that, but I feel like the general consensus out there when we're talking like on social media and stuff is because Sony has had these single player heavy story narrative games, right? And of course they all follow the same blueprint. They're all, third person, camera over the shoulder, just put them in a different world with, different characters, right? But since those have been so highly regarded, people are like, where's Xbox's version of that? Where me as a gamer, I prefer having a first-person game, a third-person game. Oh, look at this. This is a beat-em-up over here. Oh, look at this. This is a 4-player online, brawler. There is an assortment compared to a stiff kind of like regiment of a blueprint.
I don't think that's what people are upset about with this E3. I think most people are saying.
I called this E3 mediocre, man.
You're trying to say that we wanted a third-person over-the-shoulder game, and that's not what I think.
Heavy story narrative, single player. Yeah, no,
but that's not what I'm trying to say.
I think I just wanted a AAA new exclusive. Yeah.
And I didn't see that. What I saw. I mean, of course, we got Gears, we got Ori, which isn't really AAA, but I love that game. But like, there wasn't anything new. Like, okay, we were talking about Banjo earlier. The excitement you saw from that crowd when they announced that Banjo was coming to Smash, that they were releasing another Zelda. Like, that announcement for the E3 stage, those guys were fucking hyped. I never saw that energy from the crowd.
You know why? You know why they were excited when it came to Banjo and Kazooie going to Smash Bros? Do you know why?
No, I don't know why.
Because Microsoft owns Rare. And at some point in time, Nintendo fans thought that it would never be possible to have those characters on their platform again.
Oh, I
That
just
They
was
get
the
the
hype.
same reaction last year when they announced Smash. They had the same reaction. They had
Well,
this.
yeah.
I mean, like, we don't get that reaction from the Xbox side. So don't give me the bullshit because it's a rare game that they're happy because it's coming there. That's bullshit. We never get that reaction from the last fucking 4, 5, 6 fucking E3s from Microsoft.
I've never seen, I'll go further, man. I have never seen Xbox people have a reaction like that to an exclusive announcement since hold on, Halo 3 when you finished the fight. I remember the reaction being very, very loud at E3 that year. That's 2007. I haven't really seen a huge reaction like that for Xbox One. Like we haven't, because we haven't really got anything. You know, it's like, you know, we haven't. Like, I hate to say it, we just haven't got anything. Like, it started off with a bunch of hate. Like, some games maybe deserved a big reaction, but we don't get it. PlayStation dudes, they get, you know, they're out rolling around on the aisles crying all the time over announcements, right? Even the media.
Here's the point. Even with Halo, there's still like dissension amongst us about Halo. Like, there's people who
The
don't.
Halo community is always split, brother.
Yeah,
Always.
exactly. And that's one of our biggest franchises. And like, we get an announcement for it and we're split on it. Like, really? Like, we don't get that hype from our games. We don't do that as Xbox gamers.
We get overly critical. It's like, you know what? You know, even though that's a 4v4 online multiplayer, you know, it's a game that, you know, it could be really good when it comes out. It's not what we needed at this time. We become overly critical.
But Microsoft makes these odd decisions sometimes with their beloved games, and that's why it does that to the fan base.
Yeah, because we've gotten Fable. They could have just said we're working on Fable, and you know what would have happened? That same fucking hype that everybody at fucking Nintendo got.
That's all they had to do.
That's all they have to do. That because they announced the same shit. It shows a bunch of kiddie fucking games and the shit that we've had for the last fucking 3 or 4 E3s. So like, it's not just a disconnect with Microsoft and what they're doing. They're not honoring the fans of the fucking the console. They're not doing something for us. No, they're only worried about their pockets at this point. And
last year, everybody was very excited about what Halo Infinite was going to be. The new engine excited people. Nobody was down about it. It was great. This year comes out, they don't show anything.
We're gonna fucking gameplay.
Nothing.
Yeah. Well, listen. I'll also tell you this. So on Twitter, Rare's like, we listened. Banjo-Kazooie. Like, to me, that's almost a slap in the face to an Xbox fan, right? Because you see it and it's like, listen to who? And I responded because Phil's like, yes, we're paying attention. We give you guys what you want. And I was like, well, here's me as an Xbox fan looking for, you know, Banjo-Kazooie on, you know, Xbox. And it's the John Travolta gif where he's looking back and forth. Like, even though Mooch isn't a Banjo fan, I think he would admit that if they would have announced a brand new Banjo-Kazooie, that would have been a hell of a lot better than the thing we had now.
It would have been tremendous.
Asked for this generation.
What do you think
asked for Sunset. We've asked for fucking.
I think the chat would probably, I think some of you might see some of that, but you're just gonna have to deal with that. Look, Microsoft maybe you're right, but Microsoft has to stop not worry about that so much. Why are they so afraid to announce some of these things? I don't really understand that. Like, you see the reaction from the Sony dudes, right? Next year when they're back at E3 and kicking the crap out of Microsoft because Microsoft decided to wait to get people excited instead of building and letting people pre-order the next Xbox now based off of Fable, this, that, and the other, right? It's like they're going to wait and then they're going to go right head to head with the PS5, and the PS5 is going to be like Spider-Man 2, God of War, this, that, the other thing, because they have no qualms about showing shit way out in advance, and Microsoft's going to be like, Ori 3, Forza Motorsport.
Funny you bring that up, Crap. How about that? How about Ori? A game that's beloved, and I can't wait to play it. I know
like
you,
Ori.
But how funny?
I like Ori.
Nobody's talking about it.
Yeah,
nobody's talking
about it the first time either. No one talked about it the first time either, and it fell under the radar.
Well, the first time though, Pred, nobody knew what the hell it was.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? Everybody thought it was going to be another side-scrolling, blah blah blah, jump. We get it. But like now, we know how great it is. We know the sound, the music score is absolutely breathtaking.
Dude, that game,
the visuals are unbelievable. They make your eyes bleed. They're that good. I mean, it's just it's a fun game to play. It's one of the best platformers I've played, period. And I can't tell you how long. And at the same time,
it'll be in Smash next year. Don't worry about it.
Right, exactly. And he's right. He's right. And at the same time, crickets.
Well, you know what's funny about that, and this is where I go back to the whole thing about marketing, because the Ori, let's call it a franchise. Let's say they make, more than 2. Call it a franchise. It is so easy to market out there. You put out the Ori plushies. You have, first off, it's hard enough to cater towards like a hardcore gamer, the ones that really get into platforming, stuff like that. But it's also like the graphics are so like good looking, and the characters are so kind of like, they got that cute aspect to it. This game would be perfect to go all out with marketing and have like Ori kind of be a centerpiece character for your Xbox platform. You know what I'm saying?
We all said that the minute Ori was a smash success, and they didn't do anything with it.
They're not doing anything with it.
That's what we're saying. It's Microsoft that makes the ill decision. It's not the fan base that's making the ill decision. It's them. Like we all said, why not make Ori a pillar? Why not make it like absorb that company?
Since we're talking about marketing, is it just me, or like, do you guys think they should have announced like a custom console for Gears maybe around this time?
Well, Mikey Bars alluded to that they may.
Okay.
Oh, did he?
I didn't hear that.
Listen. Let me rephrase that. Let me
marker bar. Oh wait, no, sorry, I can't do it good.
But I mean,
what's next gen?
All he said was it's not out of the cards. He said it's not. He goes, I don't know. I don't work in that department, but I wouldn't dismiss it or something to that. Something to that length.
I mean, if you don't believe in Gears enough for a custom console, they made a purple one for Fortnite.
Hey now,
it's just changing the color, man.
I mean, still, you still got to do a little something, right?
Then they did kind of like a goldish gradient for Battlefield 5 as well.
Yeah. Hey,
guys, they're not done.
Let me ask you guys this, because they announced Xbox Scarlet officially revealed. It sounds, 2020 holiday launch. Look, keep this in mind. I did like people. I saw somebody busting my balls earlier. Hey, crap! What happened to that Banjo-Kazooie and Perfect Dark? You were like, listen, those were rumors that I got off a site. Turns out the Banjo stuff came true, but it came true for the Switch with Smash Brothers. So don't hate me. Now, if you look at what I predicted before E3, I said no smoke, no fire on Friday, meaning that there probably wasn't going to be any big announcements. I said Elite Controller 2.0. Boom, we got that. I heard from a very good source that we weren't getting any Splinter Cell whatsoever. I 100% locked that down as there was going to be no Splinter Cell. Look, we got no Splinter Cell. Now we also got to reveal that, we get the Scarlet. But what happened to Lockhart? It's sounding more and more like that's not even a thing.
Well, crap, everyone likes the I said this and blah, blah, blah. I said it about a year and a half ago. I said when we were talking, I said next gen, I said Xbox has got a shoe in. I didn't know about all this cloud stuff that was going to be coming our way. I said this a long time ago. Xbox has a Lockhart. We all own the Lockhart. It's an Xbox One X.
Yeah.
Okay, you have a 6 teraflop beast in your house right now.
Monster.
But with Jaguar cores, brother.
Listen,
that means a lot, dude.
Look, if you're going to have 2 tiers, a high and a low, you got the low. Okay? This is the low. And so you can't be... Even if Lockhart had the better CPU
Would you
in
make
it,
me want to start a business with you, man? I would love coming into work and arguing with you like every day.
Just put me in charge of marketing. I'll sell it. And get Justine on the phone immediately. Listen, here's my point. I think that really Anaconda, aka Scarlet, is their top, and you have something that Sony doesn't have right now. That is something that we're gonna find out this September if they ever show us a 4K 60 frame Gears of War 5. Yeah. Right? You're putting out 4K 60. People have 4K TVs. Anybody putting this math together yet? We've already got an Xbox One X that can do that. They can lower that price to something that the PS5 and the Scarlet can't touch. Okay? So if you want that, we have a console for you. It's the Xbox One X. If you want something that's absolutely mind-blowing, you go Scarlet. That's the way you do it. And then that gives Microsoft a bit of an advantage in the retailer space.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been saying that for a long time. But Lockhart is Xbox One X. Xbox One is Scarlet. Finkel is Einhorn. Einhorn is Finkel.
You're not wrong. That's the thing. But here's the thing. Are we past the point where we were getting big time leaks from quote unquote insiders, right? Because we've been hearing about this for a long time now. People were saying that the Lockhart was going to be a 1080-60 machine and all, and that never made sense to me because Microsoft has been pushing 4K for years already, and the next console is 8K supposedly. So why would they go back to 1080p? It never made sense to me from that standpoint. So like I never really bought into it, and it does sound like it's not a legit thing, which I think is a good thing because supposedly they're going to be doing, they're going to be doing backwards compatibility, and not forward compatibility, but cross-gen play. Now, when Matt Booty did his interview with Eurogamer, right? He sounds like Phil Spencer, okay? Like he sounds like cryptic like Phil Spencer. Like you read his responses and it doesn't really understand. Like listen to this, right? So they talk about projects. He goes, "You finally put a name on Project Scarlet and started to talk about it. To me, that sounds like Project Scorpio, a big beefy new console, singular. But last year, Phil Spencer talked about new Xbox consoles, plural. What should we expect next year?" Matt Booty says, "Everything we talked about today. We're not talking about more than what we showed in the video and what Phil talked about. Project Scarlet is our console plan headed into 2020. You did say console, not console plans there, right?" Matt Booty, "Scarlet is our console plan in the 2020. He sounds like a politician. "What I'd like to share a little more relevant to my world on the game studios is that Scarlet will open up terms of game design going all the way back to early 2000s with streaming, blah, 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 solid state drive, 3D consoles." Hold on, because I think one of the things that I liked about what he was talking about was he goes, "Perhaps speaking more generally than for Halo Infinite, you'll have a box on a shelf which says it's for Scarlet and a box on a shelf which says it's for Xbox One X. Do those titles have to have parity or features? Will they just be differ visually?" And he says, so he's asking him, is there going to be a box for Scarlet, like besides Xbox One? And listen to his response. "Well, we already have a space where we need to navigate this, and that's PC games. You can have a PC game with 2 NVIDIA 1080s with SLI and 64 gigs of RAM, while I have a hand-me-down laptop. The game needs to be smart enough to take advantage of what there is in the best possible way."
So he's
but
talking
also
scaling.
Yeah, but he's talking about like this is his response to is there going to be 2 freaking boxes when you go into a store, a Scarlet version and an Xbox One version, and it doesn't make sense. The fact that we have direct access across the soccer field to the Windows team working on DX and all the gaming features on Windows means we have experience navigating up and down the hardware continuum and a little bit of what is going to be coming to our world of the console.
He's basically saying that there's going to be one physical disc out there that you'll be able to put into your Xbox One or your Scarlet, and it's going to run on both.
That's so lame.
Why? It's
that
gonna,
is so...
Xbox, what's your pitch? What's your pitch? What's his pitch?
He's saying that what Booty is actually saying. Sir X-Man says what happened to Anaconda. Anaconda is Scarlet. Scarlet's Anaconda.
Anaconda.
Yeah,
what is Xbox pitching?
So Xbox is suggesting that we won't get a Scarlet box. That we're like for like a game box, right? We're just gonna have Xbox One games, and you're gonna put game into.
I didn't see that it was gonna. It could be. It could be kind of like the newer advertising with Scarlet, whatever it's gonna be called. It'll say also playable on Xbox One below it, and let people know that they'll be able to put that disc in the Xbox One.
I don't want to use the word confusing. But that's confusing.
Yeah, see, this is my point, right? We're already in a space where we need to navigate that, and that's PC. And talks about NVIDIA 1080s and shit.
I'm decoding what
I get what you're saying, but to the average, but how is that not confusing to the average gamer,
right,
dude? Like, well, okay, so I got this Xbox Scarlet, and I bought it for little Timmy. I can't find an Xbox Scarlet version of Halo.
I'm saying that they are going to have the Scarlet, like, kind of. The Scarlet, whatever advertising they're going to use for Scarlet, whatever name, that's going to be front and center on your physical disc media. Why
not just make it a different thing? Like PS5. You're going to go into a store, you're going to see a PS5 section, you're going to see a PS4 section. If you got a PS5, you go to the PS5 section.
Why, if you can have, Project Scarlet, Scarlet across the front of the box, and then also underneath it just also playable on Xbox One. Why would you want to do 2? I don't.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like for me personally, I'm just saying
it'll be more confusing.
It's very, very confusing. It's very confusing.
A couple extra words on that box is gonna confuse the masses.
Well, no,
people.
I'm saying not on the game box, right? Like, because I've already seen some of the 360 boxes where they've updated it to where it's Xbox One and 360. But for me, I think if you're gonna sell me on a new console, a lot of people like the reason why the X didn't take off, I think like it probably would have if it was a new generation, is people won't abandon stuff mid-gen. Right? They were very reluctant to do so, no matter the power. Next gen, when people hear that, they're ready to start all over. Now, thankfully, we don't have to, but it's the worst possible time for this to happen for Microsoft, because if they were to go out next gen and really have a killer lineup and a powerful machine, people would be like, hey, I'm going to switch to Xbox if they had a good lineup. Now it's like people are already ingrained with that PlayStation. They're going to have backwards compatibility and stuff like that. So I'm not sure that's a big win. And now, like, confusing where you're going to buy that doesn't, like, people like to upgrade and feel that shiny, right? Oh, it's shiny new. I can't wait to see. If you're just buying an old Xbox One game, that almost feels like a last gen.
Like I said, because you're talking about the casual. Like, everything on it is going to have whatever new kind of like advertising that they're going to have, that new kind of like packaging and stuff. It's going to say, you know, Scarlet, whatever the name is, and it just underneath it also playable on Xbox One. That's still new shiny, brother. That is still new shiny.
Well, I'm just saying it's very confusing. You're still gonna have one section.
Another thing is you're thinking of this as with the traditional hardware sales kind of like fueling that whole thing. And let's be real here, when it comes to Xbox, it's about the software sales, and you know, people are going to be playing games everywhere on the Xbox platform.
They hope.
I mean, that's their goal.
I mean, they hope. Yeah. I'm sure.
Goal, so they're not necessarily, you know, do they want to get consoles out? Yes, they do. Does it mean as much as when they launched like the 360 or beginning of this generation in terms of getting the hardware out there? It doesn't mean as much, man.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm saying, though, it seems a little bit confusing to me. I think maybe one of the reasons why, if there ever was a Lockhart and they're not talking about it, because it's very confusing to talk about two different spec consoles at the same time and getting that across to people. So if there is a Lockhart, maybe props to them for not even talking about it.
For a minute. Let me give you a mind fuck here for a minute.
Oh, yeah.
What if one of those is a digital only box?
I could be. Maybe the Lockhart is.
That was that's the only one I could buy into.
Even though Phil's already said that, hey, we're going to have a disk drive, well, on Scarlet, he says, but we had heard that Scarlet, quote unquote, was the universal title for their entire next gen series. You know what I mean? So I'm not really sure exactly what the thinking is or whatever that is. But I did want to talk about this real quick as well. Apparently we've gotten the last batch of backwards compatible games ever for the 360 and the original Xbox. Hat on your chest, Mooch. I know you're gonna.
I'm pouring a little beer out right now, crap.
Yes, you're gonna bask.
OE.
Yeah, he's gonna miss. We're all gonna miss the backwards compatibility.
What he means by miss is, I mean, not miss. But go ahead, please.
So,
continue.
but Mooch, do you guys think that this is the end of the 360 games coming to games with gold? Because eventually, it seems like they're kind of running out on some of this stuff, and now they're not making any more. I don't
think they're done with it. I think they're waiting until Scarlet. I think they're saying, listen, we are using our staff and our resources to ramp up for next generation. We don't need to take people on the phone, calling publishers, calling developers, getting approval, making sure the law offices are good with it. Everything's good with that. That's all kind of just blah right now. Right now, they need all resources. I'm working on xCloud, Scarlet, right? All hands on deck. Exactly. So I think what everyone's got to calm down. I do not think, and this is just an opinion, guys. It's an opinion. I don't think that back compat is done. I just think back compat is on pause. And I'll be honest with you. Bravo to Microsoft. They've given us a plethora of back compat games. There's quite a library out there. There's no way you can play them all over again.
600 plus,
right?
Exactly. What game are you really missing? I mean, I can see.
Thank you.
There's a few. There's maybe 5.
Yeah, exactly. Guys, all I see on Twitter and everybody in the chat is, oh, my backlog. It's like, if you have such a backlog going from this generation, don't worry about last generation.
Yeah. Right?
So I got news for you. I have Assassin's Creed Odyssey. I got Metro Exodus.
Me too.
I've got, God almighty, there's at least one more I can't even think of. And then there's all these multiplayer spaces. Like I'm getting back into Fallout. Me and Xbox.
Hey, I hear the Fallout thing sounds pretty good now.
It's great.
To be honest, with you.
Right.
I never even played it
Where's the
before.
door? I'm leaving.
Right,
now.
I never even,
Mooch.
I never even played it before, but it's like now I'm seeing it, and they got some kind of battle royale.
Battle Royale is supposed to be great crap.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna check it out this week. Me and Sully are supposed
Yeah.
to play it, so you should join us, crap.
yeah, so like like I saw that, and I'm like, holy cow, that's pretty kick ass. Good for them for continuing to work on that. I think that's pretty incredible.
Absolutely.
But I guess I'm a little bit disheartened that we won't get any more. So our original Xbox backwards compatibility ends at 39 games.
I'm just sad we're not going to see any more of those famous YouTube thumbs.
Man,
everybody holding up their 360 cartridge, like I can't wait to play this tonight.
Yeah, let me
right. So they take a picture of them holding the actual old cartridge case, right, the CD case, and it's their thumb in there, and then they pop it in. You go on your friends list, you see everyone's playing it. They play it for about 5 minutes. They take a picture of them playing it, and then they put it back into their closet or their museum where they had it for the past 8 years.
That was me, because I was like, oh, I can't wait to play Ghost Recon from 8 years ago, and I fucking popped that shit in. I was like, man, this just sucks.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah, you know what I mean? It's like we all have these fond memories. You guys got to remember. This is where I came up. Nostalgia is a hell of a drug.
Yeah,
you remember what it was like when you played it, but that's not how it is today. It's not. The only thing really that you have memories of from the past that really work the same as today is music. Music still holds that note for you. But listen, even Red Dead Redemption was done in 4K, and guys, it was exquisite. It couldn't have been done any better. Everybody popped it in. They played 4 or 5 missions, and they're like, that's enough for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did play KOTOR, to be honest with you. I did play through that but I rushed through it. I remember. No, I remembered that game because I used to play it every single year.
Right.
And it's one of my favorite games, and it's one of those games we'll probably never ever see a sequel to because developers don't have a tendency to listen. Yeah, I mean, they don't have a tendency to listen.
Yeah. A new one of those crap in this generation with today's power in the console absolutely would have been an outstanding thing to have. I think.
Well, I mean, the good news is Xbox. When the Xbox Scarlet, all the Xbox One stuff will be a backwards. They're like, we're going to be working on that. Like, why do they got to work on that? Shouldn't it just be pop a game in and it works?
Should work.
I mean, yeah. Like that to me, that's exactly how it should work.
That's another idea there, crap, right? If PlayStation's doing their version of what back compat's going to be, Microsoft had to do, they even said it, right? They even came out and said we were kind of astonished at how we were able to do that this generation. If they're planning things correctly for back compat, including 360 and including, Xbox One and maybe OG, they're able to do Scarlet where it's what you just said, pop it in and it just works. They've had to do the emulator and all this other stuff. But I got to tell you something, to get back to your initial question, we'll go on to another subject if you want, is just that I think they're waiting until Scarlet because they want all hands on deck, as Pred said, for Scarlet right now in xCloud. They don't need to use their resources right now on something where, who cares if they bring some, who cares episode 7?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Next doc says they did say 4 gens of backwards compat, which is technically true, but I don't think we're ever going to get more than the 39 games from the original Xbox that they announced. Which,
you never know.
I mean, like I don't necessarily hate that, but maybe it's like I get why they're gonna have problems with like the licenses and stuff like that. Hey, everybody, hit the like button. We're closing in on 200 likes. I would really appreciate that. You guys have been
great group, great chat.
Yeah, nothing short of amazing. It's one of those things that I'm super. I love E3. I love doing these after shows and scouring for the news and stuff like that. I just think that that's the most fun I have. I think that that's realistically, this is the kind of stuff where it's go time. Mooch, it. Like, it was just go time, right? Like, we had our caffeine and we did the shows. And Xbot, I know you did. And Fred, I'm not sure if you were doing things, but if you jumped, I haven't had a chance to listen to the next because I was doing my show live at the same time. So it does seem to me like next gen is going to focus heavily on solid state drives, right?
Yes.
Like, which is good because I like faster load times. It looks like it's going to be, they're talking 8K. I don't even know if that's really necessary. It seems like overkill, but maybe they're trying to set you up so that you don't have to get anything for a while. I really don't want to see new consoles every 2 years.
Yeah, I think they're expecting like a 10-year thing again. I mean, like, and maybe a mid-gen refresh again.
To be honest with you, like, I know, because they're so swervy sometimes, right? Well, what's the next gen? We don't even believe in generations, but here's our next generation because we can't let Sony launch one without us, right? Like, I almost was like, the Xbox One X is so powerful. We haven't even got the most that we can from that yet.
We didn't even see powerful games on the fucking E3 stage.
I know, exactly. Well, Bleeding Edge and Battletoads, right? Woo! I mean, those are going to be good. You know, and I do like overall. I wasn't thrilled with their E3. I thought it was okay, but overall E3 I thought was pretty good. You know,
I'll tell you something, Crap. You know, and just to add to what you're saying, it's still a great time of year, regardless of what the topics are and the ratings and this and that we all give them. It's a fun week. I will say this much. I said it earlier on Twitter. I'll say it again. I've said this months before when we found out Sony wasn't being there. Regardless of your platform of choice, it's just better when all three are there. You know, and I think it was today. I said I even threw Google in there. Who knows what they're going to do next year? But really, Microsoft, Nintendo, and Sony, they are the Triforce, if you will, okay, of gaming. And the mecca that is E3, if Microsoft's not there, if Nintendo's not there, or Sony's not there, it does feel like something's missing, you know? Yeah. So, because really, you can't, Microsoft did their show, Sony wasn't there. It's hard to, you can't compare. If you're the only person in the class and you get an 87 on a test out of 100, to be honest with you, if you're the only one taking it, the 87 becomes 100, or it becomes a 0, depending on how you look at it, because there's nothing to judge it off of. There's no mean, there's no average, there's no nothing. So I think it's fun to have all of them there representing, and I think gamers win when they're all there, and I think we lost a little bit without Sony being there. The good news is I think they'll definitely be there next year.
Yeah, I think they're going to be there, and I think they're going to be there swinging, which could come back to bite Microsoft in the butt, if you think about it, right? Because Microsoft basically was, I don't know, they took a knee at this E3. Like, hey,
they
did. The other team didn't show up. We're going to go ahead and kind of phone it in. You could have knocked me over, Mooch, and I think you can hear it in my reaction when they ended it with Halo. I thought, like, I think you guys thought they're going to show 3 or 4 or 5 next-gen titles, right? Like, let's hype you up. You know what I mean? Like, I couldn't have been more surprised that they didn't do that.
I guess they fucked up wet dream. So
yeah, well, yeah, it was like I was surprised as hell. I was just super bummed about it. But overall, if you enjoyed it, then you enjoyed it. I'm not gonna try to knock it if you did. Like, I think that Xbox can be an incredible platform going forward. I just feel like they have to have faith in their developers to show off some stuff. Just my opinion. So with that being said, believe it or not, even though we didn't get a full 2 hours in, we got almost an hour and 40 minutes in. We're going to do some outros. Mooch, what do you got going on, bro?
Well, I've got a lot going on, buddy, to be honest with you. We've got Crossfire.
We got a game called Crossfire coming too. Woo!
We do. I'm going to have to promote the hell out of that.
Yes.
So we got that 7 p.m. Eastern time on the Mooch 78. Everybody that's here, and crap, you said this when we were on my channel. You're like, Mooch, why do you still got 8,800 subscribers? Guys, Crap, Mooch, we're all here. Go over and hit the button. It's a button. It's 2 clicks.
It is.
You clicked and you click again.
Yep.
You go ahead and do that and enjoy the show and everything we got over there. And also check me out on twitch.tv, the Mooch78. Same as YouTube, the Mooch78 on twitch.tv and also on YouTube. Guys, check it out. It's a lot of fun. And I'm going to be doing some video. Actually, Crap, I have a video possibly coming out by Monday. We're going to do a little something after E3. Why not?
I agree 100%. Predator, what do you got going on, man?
Oh, shit, I'm second. Oh,
yes.
Not much, man. Next podcast this weekend, and happy Father's Day. Happy early Father's Day to you guys out there.
Yeah. Demon says, Crap, you're being like Xbox and not going the full 2 hours. Man, GT Slotfinger says, good show, guys. Thank you very much. Yeah, hey, I would have went the full 2 hours, guys, but again, I had those Microsoft updates for Windows, so yeah, that kind of that hurt a little bit. Xbox, what do you got going on? Are you bringing back Next this weekend?
Next podcast is returning this Saturday, and our special guest is none other than Yobi Dren, man.
What a good guy, man. He gave away a copy of Jedi Fallen Order on our show Sunday.
Nice. He gave away a Design Lab controller on the live reaction.
That guy, he's a positive force in the community. Really good guy. Shout out to that guy. I know sometimes it can sound like I'm being overly negative. Hopefully we can get back on track with some good stuff. There was good stuff. The Elite controller. A lot of these games are going to look amazing on the X going forward for the next year and a half. We absolutely have the best platform to play like this stuff with.
we had a couple PlayStation diehards calling for my head tonight, and I just want to let them know I do have a YouTube channel as well. It's Xbot448. So if you want to call for my head, if you want to get angry at the common sense that I put out there, you should go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I put out live videos, I put out gaming news videos, live streams, and of course podcasts. You'll love getting mad at me over there, people.
Yeah, absolutely. So we thank you guys. I'm thinking that Foxy and Knox will be back next week. I don't know. Knox, but I just hope he's all right because he didn't say anything. Just nothing. So hopefully we'll see him back next week. Hopefully he's all right. Foxy's all right. And we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day. Like it, share it, love it, live it. Rack them up. Peace.
Peace.